kids. Fuck the kids? Yeah.
You have just tuned in to the Mag Nerd Podcast, your home for everything in music, anime, and gaming. What is up, guys? Showing Up the King here, back with another video, and today I want to talk about Hasbro. I want to talk about the situation that's going on with me and Articulated Ninja. So I just wanted to kind of do a follow-up video to a video I uploaded a couple of days ago, where me and Articulated Ninja got into a debate over the Haslab Ghost Rider. Now again, Articulated Ninja has recently uploaded another video which he's calling a movie, so I'm pretty sure he's stretching out this whole controversy, which I completely understand. Again, we all know the negativity sells, so why not ride that shit till the wheels fall off? So again, no hate to him. So, first things first, before I get into the whole Articulated Ninja Crash Grab movie that he just uploaded, I wanted to talk about the current status of the Haslab Ghost Rider project. So here we have, as of now, 33 days left, 13 hours and 3 minutes. We have about 5,423 backers for the Engine of Vengeance. And if I'm not mistaken, that number might have actually dropped. Yeah, it might have actually dropped since the campaign started. And again, I'm pretty sure that happened because people didn't end up getting the Robbie Reyes. So everybody's trying to call this a failed Haslab already, even though we still have more than 30 days remaining for this thing to go. And a funny thing is that the same thing happened with the Sky Striker. So there was the 3 1/4 inch scale Sky Striker that had came out. And again, everybody was doing the same thing where they were saying that, oh, it was going to fail and da-da-da-da-da. But then, again, later on, it ended up funding and ended up unlocking all the unlocks. So, again, there is still more than enough time to for this thing to fund. Now, that being said, I did want to talk about something real quick. And namely, that is why I think the early bird special did not work in the favor for Hasbro. And again, I might have mentioned this on one of my other videos. But again, I want to make it clear here that I personally, and again, some of my other friends that also are collectors, we all thought that the civilian Robbie Reyes was not good enough to be an early bird unlock special. Now, it worked so well with G.I. Joe because it was a troop builder. And people love troop builders. That is just a thing. So adding in an extra, soldier, especially one that's exclusive color that you would not be able to get anywhere else, that is very enticing because, again, those are things that are going to bring value to the project. So it made perfect sense that that would be the early unlock for the HIF tank. So when that didn't happen for this one, even when I saw it, because I remember I was watching live when they were talking about it, and I saw that early bird special, and I was like, even myself, I was like, civilian Robbie Reyes. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? Like, again, I understood the purpose of it. Again, the suit, as you can see here, and the only real difference was that they gave him pants and then they gave him a human head sculpt instead of having the Ghost Rider skull. Now, me personally, I think that should have probably been lumped in with the actual thing. We didn't need an extra body for that to be a thing. Now, honestly, what I think that they should have done is they should have included the early bird special would have been Robbie Reyes' brother, or they would have introduced Mephisto as the early unlock. Again, knowing that $350 price tag is going to turn off a lot of people because it's $50 more than a HIS tank, they should have definitely done a little bit more. And I guarantee you it probably would have funded if the early bird unlock was better. Because again, at the end of the day, most people are getting it for that transform mode, or if it's in the civilian mode, they're going to be using it with other figures. So I've heard a bunch of people online talking about what's the point of this thing now, civilian mode, if there's no civilian Robbie Reyes. And to that, I would have to say, you can still use it for, and again, let me be clear. Most people that are buying this thing are buying it just for the car. Robbie Reyes is a nice bonus, but they're buying it for the car because, again, there is no other 6-inch scale vehicle like that on the market. And again, don't show me that fucking Bratz car. I don't want to hear it. Like, a car like this, there is nothing else comparable on the internet today that will get you something like this. Period. End of discussion. And you guys know it. But anyway, so in my video that I had with Articulated Ninja, I had a lot of people that were talking about oh, you should go check out the guy who owns Valaverse, the one that's he did a podcast, and he said the Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance was not worth the money. And then I found that funny. I was like, why did guy, like, who is this guy? So I actually went on ahead and I watched the video. And again, like I said, I own Valaverse figures. Like, I bought that Valaverse weapon set. I bought a lot of the first wave items. Again, I even bought that Sergeant Slaughter that he had. And again, there was some issues with the legs with my Wasp enforcer person. It was like, you gotta soak the legs. So let's not sit here and act like Hasbro sucks and Valaverse is the pinnacle of action figure toys, because they got their own issues too. But anyway, I digress. So I go back and I watch this podcast thing that everybody kept trying to recommend me, that is going to open my eyes to what he was saying. And I just found it very funny that a lot of the shit that he was saying in that podcast, I was saying the exact same thing. So even though you guys sat there and sent me there thinking it's going to open my eyes, come to find out, a lot of the shit that he was saying, I was saying as well. But because it's coming from me, it doesn't make any sense. But if it's coming from him, then it's gospel, which is stupid. And I also figured out that a lot of the arguments that Ninja was using in his whole thing came from Bobby in the first place. There weren't even original thoughts. Like, some of the things that he was saying was word for word the same things that he said on that podcast. So I thought that was funny too. But anyway, so one of the big things that he was saying in the podcast is, well, let me tell you what I was saying first. So what I was saying is that 350 sounds like a lot of money, but once you factor in the 4 to 5 figures that would be unlocked with the vehicle, that 350 price tag is very, very manageable. And then again, everybody in my comment section was yelling and screaming at me that you can't count those figures into the price. That's not how these crowdfund things work. And da 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 da. The value has to come from the initial offering. Everything else is supposed to be free. And what I was trying to say to these people was, I understand what you're saying. And in a realistic world, that's not how the world works. In a fantasy world where everybody gets together, we have world peace, there's no need for nuclear weapons, those kind of things are what they mean. But in the actual real world where we have corporations and shareholders and people who want to make money, no one's going to give you shit for free. And the same thing is with Hasbro. I was always acutely aware of that. So that's why whenever I looked at projects like the Sky Striker, when I looked at projects like Galactus and the Sentinel, I never looked at those bare bone prices and factored them in for that particular item. I factored in everything. And the guy, Bobby, or whoever the dude was that owns Valaverse, I can't remember his name, on the podcast, he even said it himself. He said that $350 price tag is also including the Mephisto and any other unlocks that would have been coming in there. Because he said it himself. He says Hasbro is not giving anybody shit for free. He said, so when you look at that thing, you have to look at everything that you're getting for that $350. Because Hasbro is not going to use money to produce these things. They've already spent thousands, tens of thousands of dollars just to get this thing. The prototypes, the marketing, the photos, all the man hours that it took to get this shit done. And you think Hasbro's not going to find a way to get their money back on that? Hell yeah, they are. And I understand that, because again, I understand how businesses work and function. I'm not sitting here functioning in my brain on how the way I want things to be. I'm looking at things at how they are and how the world works, and I'm making my decisions off of that. Go back and listen to the podcast, and you can hear him say it for yourself. He even said that the Engine of Vengeance, that $350 price tag, is including the car, the effects, Ghost Rider, and any of the 3 to 4 figures that will be released with that. Which one we already know is Mephisto. I know there was some other things that were saying that it's going to be Blackheart, and then I think it was also something else that was saying it's going to be Robbie Reyes' brother. And maybe one other one. I don't know. So, again, I find it incredibly funny that you guys were pushing me towards watching this video, and then come to find out that he basically proved the exact same point that I've been saying this entire time. Now, the other thing is like, he's like, oh, he's saying it is too expensive, and therefore it's too expensive. I said it was too expensive. I said it should have been for $300. But again, why would you also want me to take the word of somebody that clearly has a grudge against Hasbro? In that same video, he basically spent like 5 minutes shitting on everybody on the Marvel Legends team. Like, he clearly has beef with Hasbro. So why would I take his word as gospel? Why would I do that? Would you sit there and listen to somebody that, if you like the girl, say you was trying to hit on the girl, you and your best friend liked the girl, and your best friend knew that you liked her and he liked her too, and he was telling you all this shit about her, like, oh yeah, I heard her underarm stink, and I heard that, she be screwing every guy on the planet, and da 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 da. Are you gonna take the word of somebody that you know also wants to get with this girl? Or are you going to use your own brain and try to approach that person with the same thing? Or are you going to listen to a person that you know has skin in the game? Again, you guys need to think for yourself and stop being influenced by all these crazy people. So, now, before I get on the Articulated Ninja, I wanted to say this. What are my current thoughts on the Engine of Vengeance, and do I think it's going to back? I think with 33 days remaining, I definitely think that this project can still be funded. I just think that Hasbro needs to put the pedal to the metal, so to speak. I think at this point, there is so much negativity out there by so many people that they're going to have to do some damage control in order to get people back on board. And the only way to do that is to show all the unlocks from the project and just let it hang out there. I think you're going to have to show every single thing that you guys have available. And again, if you guys got any sort of weak unlocks, you better change them now. You guys got more than enough time to do it. You better unchange them now. And again, the only thing I can think of is that you got to have Mephisto, you got to have Blackheart, and then you probably want to use Danny Ketch or whoever, whichever was the other Ghost Rider who had the black cycle with the not the skull in the front, but had like the big black looking shield on the front. You're gonna have to toss in something pretty big to get people back on board, to counteract all the negativity that's been coming out. And if they can do that, then I definitely think that this project can turn around. Because right now, even if there are people who want to back this project, they're not going to back it because of all the crap that people are talking online. So they don't want to be that person who backs this project and then they go against the grain. Because again, people are very impressionable. And again, they look to other people to make decisions. Despite the fact that anytime we tell people, make a decision on your own, people don't do that. They basically follow what the will of the people are doing. And again, I will tell you, again, making it very clear, I think $350 is too much for this product. I think $300, the same price as the His Tank, would have been the sweet spot, and it would have negated all of this drama that we've been going through the past couple of weeks. If they would have just priced it the same way as the His Tank. Now, whether that's corporate greed or whether that is just stupid decisions, I don't know, and I can't say. I don't work in Hasbro's corporate office. So I don't know how they come up with the prices, even though the guy from Valve said that it's just completely made up and it doesn't actually have. Basically, they'll charge as much as they think people will pay. And again, if that's what Hasbro is doing, then I don't think that's really smart. And again, I would hope that a billion-dollar company would have a little bit more thought process into how they price things out. But again, regardless of that, I'm talking about what they need to do now in order to see this project succeed. And I think that's it. Because again, even though 33 days is a long time away, if they are not making more efforts to promote this thing and show why people should be paying that price tag, it's going to fail. And again, if it fails, I'll make it very clear. No sweat off my back. Again, that's just another $350. I've gone this long without a charger. I'm pretty sure somebody else will come up with something similar in the coming years and something, and then eventually I'll get my charger. But if I don't get it here, I'll probably get it eventually, or I guess I just won't need it, or I'll do without it. I've been doing without this whole time. It's not going to kill me to do without it even longer. So now let's go ahead and talk about Articulated Ninja and what he had to say about me. Now, I want to talk about the most recent video that Articulated Ninja put out. He's calling it his cash grab movie. And again, he said he wasn't going to reply to me, but again, his first part of his video was directed towards me directly. So again, I feel it's a need to go ahead and reply because again, I don't duck from the smoke or anything that I say. So the basis of his whole video at the beginning where it mentioned me, again, he talks about other influencers on there. And again, I don't consider myself an influencer, by the way. Again, I'm too low on the totem pole for Hasbro to even notice me. And even if they did notice me, I would still be the same person regardless. Because again, I just talk about what I love, which is action figures and toys. Whether I like them, whether I hate them, I speak my mind, and I'm whether you give me $100, $100,000, or $10 or a free action figure, it's not going to change the way I feel about a product. Period. End of discussion. Now, that being said, Articulated Ninja, found it. He took offense to the fact that I said that somebody that took his, image propaganda and used it to attack Boog, was somehow I said it was directly his fault, like he's the one that told that person to do that. And again, if you watch my video, I clearly say that not that you're doing it. What I said is that your rhetoric and the way that you interact with your fan base is the reason why they do shit like that. And it's the same thing. So again, there is a person out there in politics, Donald Trump, who does the exact same thing. He likes to go out, make inflammatory statements and say certain things, and then when his fan base goes out or his supporters go out and do things that might have a negative impact on the outside world, he can sit back and be like, well, I never told them to do that. I never once told them directly to go do this, this, and this. I only said A, B, C, D, and E. And again, I feel like Ninja is doing the exact same thing. Again, no one is saying that you have to like this project. No one's saying that you don't have the right to go out and voice your opinion on your dislike for this project. I've made plenty of videos about projects and things that I didn't like. No, that's what YouTube is for. At the end of the day, our voices can make a difference with some of these companies if it's done respectfully. That's the difference, okay? So I find it very funny that Ninja in his videos is talking about how he doesn't have an issue with why people have an issue with him talking negatively, but they don't have any issues with, other people who are talking positively about it. And again, the issue that I have with that whole statement that he's making is that, again, he's being disingenuous. He's okay with you. He's completely fine with you hating the Haslab project. If you agree with him, you are in the cool kid circle. If you do not agree with him and you do think that this thing is worth that money, then you're a shill and you're getting paid by Hasbro. And don't believe me, listen to the words from him himself.
Price is correct, or it should just be this price in general. You see how he's being honest about it, where there's some people that are backing it and they're acting like, no, this is totally worth $350. And that's what's sad. These content creators that want to claim they've been collecting 5, 10 plus years, they have all this experience. Obviously, you're being incentivized in some type of way to not speak your honest opinion on this price for whatever reason. And
you see that? So if you think that the Haslab Ghost Rider thing is fairly priced, or if you think that it's something that's worth buying, then you're just a shill. It's not that that's just your opinion, like he has his opinion. It's no. My opinion is right, and if you don't agree with me, then you're a corporate shill and you're getting paid by Hasbro. How does that lead to any sort of positive discourse? How? He's literally saying that if you don't agree with me, then you're getting paid to say that. Like, that is some Trump shit. Again, the parallels are so clear. It's scary. But look, again, I'm not going to go through the whole diatribe of what I said in my other video. If you want to go back and watch that, then go back and watch that. I'm only going to talk about what was directed towards me in general. Like, we have a responsibility of people on the internet who have influence. Again, no one is saying that you should have to agree with any and everything that goes on out in the world. What I'm saying is that we have a responsibility as people who have influence on others to try and engage with them in a positive or semi-positive manner. And I'll give you a prime example. So the way that Ninja interacts with his fandom and his comment section is exactly what I'm talking about. So at first, when he's talking about when the videos that he said he would never, because I didn't come at him with any sort of negativity or name calling, he was going to show me the same respect. But if you actually listen to his response video, he spent 90% of that video sneak dissing me, calling me a slave, calling me sad, saying that I'm blind and I'm this, like all of these subliminal disses that he threw at me. And again, even when I did my response video, I still I still kept it marginally cordial, right? Because again, I don't have beef with somebody that I don't know. I don't know Ninja. I don't know any of these other people on the internet, so I don't have any reason to be beefing with these people. They're not, in my eyes, they're not real outside of the internet. Now, I had someone in one of my comments section that was dissing Ninja in one of my comments. And I even said, I was like, nah, that's probably not true. I don't know him, but I don't, again, I kind of shut it down. I'm like, I'm not going to have somebody come in my comment section and start disrespecting somebody else out of the blue like that. No, again, not cool in my opinion. But then you go to his comment section where people are maliciously attacking me. I'm talking, saying all types of shit. There was one guy in there that basically called me a cuck. He basically was saying something along the lines of, I'm the type of person that is sitting in the corner while some other dude is railing my wife. And not only did Ninja favorite that comment, he actually interacted with it and was talking about something. Hopefully he's not bringing him a sandwich or something to that effect. I can't remember. It was a couple of days ago. But again, I read that and I just thought it was real funny. And I'm like, again, these are the kind of interactions that you're doing. You're riling these people up. And again, you're agreeing with them, but you're also trying to claim plausible deniability at the same time. So you're playing both sides of the fence. You want the engagement because, again, it's good for your channel. Negativity sells. Like, yeah, you're going to always get more. You're going to get more views with negative videos than you are with positive videos. That's just the way it is. Me, personally, I can't live my life like that. Like, I'm the kind of person, if I need to say something negative, I'll say it. But I'm not basing my entire channel around negativity just for views. I'm not doing it. Period. End of discussion. Like, again, like I wasn't even going to respond to this until I saw his video come back out. Other than that, I was going to let it go. And I was going to move on to doing other things. Like I said, I'm in the process of getting ready to do some action figure reviews. And that's what I was prepping for until I saw this video. So at the end of the day, like I said, Ninja is free to do and say whatever he wants to do. Again, his beef with other content creators is that. All I'm saying is that, again, I will reiterate that people need to make their own decisions with their own money and do not let other people wind you up and get you into trouble. Period. Again, have your own brain, make your own decisions, and just do it that way. Again, let me know what you guys think. Rate, comment, subscribe. This is Show Up the King. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.